Howdy y'all, Rowan here. So today, well, I always do that. I launch right into it. I don't say hello. I don't ask how you are. Tell me down below. It's been a minute since I've made content. So, like, feel free to say that, you missed my dulcet tones. Also feel free to like this video, if you are happy that I'm back, or if you're unhappy that I'm back, go ahead and dislike this video. That's cool too. Subscribe to my channel if you are thinking about it. If you've been watching my videos and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Everybody else who's not subscribed, I give you permission to wait till later in the video until I say something funny enough for you to subscribe. But when I say something funny, you're obligated to subscribe to me, okay? So, today I just kind of wanted to talk about some recent deck acquisitions that have really been moving me. I haven't spent a lot of time with tarot this month, which is why I haven't made a lot of tarot content this month. I did buy some decks because I am insatiable, but mostly I've been painting, which is why you probably see there's gunk under my nails. That's acrylic paint. I've been doing so much painting this month, and I've been doing a little bit of writing too, but mostly painting. But I have on occasion been turning to tarot, like maybe a couple times a week rather than every day. And when I do, I consistently keep wanting to work with the same decks over and over again. So let's get into what those decks are. So the first one I want to talk about is the Tabula Mundi Tarot. I have the Palm Perfect size of this. It is a Thoth-based deck. I also have the expansion pack that you can get with it. It is a Thoth-based deck that is chock full of symbolism and motif and archetypes and all the different rhetorical devices as well. So, you know, it's got things in it. It's got lots of things. There's a lot to dissect here, and something about this deck just feels like I don't have a soul deck necessarily. Like, I have favorite deck, like a handful of favorite decks that I really feel at home when I work with, but this deck speaks to me in a very soul way. Like, I feel like anytime I use this deck, it's looking right through me. It makes me feel like I'm made of window. It's a fabulous deck, and it's got its problems. It's not perfect. I think it's kind of weird that the only brown person in the entire deck is the Empress. I don't know, that's kind of strange. A choice that, oh no, that's a brown person, a brown monster person, but a brown person nonetheless. You can see their locks. Okay, I walk it back a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Yeah, so I just have been really enjoying this deck for, like, super serious readings. I don't want to pull this one out for everyday guidance. This is the sort of, this 5 of discs that brings back some of the imagery from the Magician card that it is in this deck. I really, really fucking enjoy the artistry in this one. But it's for, like, really serious shit, right? I only have a couple of Oracle decks that I feel comfortable pairing with this one, and really I don't like pairing it with Oracle at all. It's meant to speak on its own, I think. And I did get the book with it, the Liber Mundi, and I have slowly but surely been reading it, which is to say I've read the preface and the first little chapter. I have not even gotten past the introduction. I have read through some of the cards as I've been pulling them, but that's about it. You'll see there's a theme. All of the tarot decks that I have to talk about today, save one, which is technically just an honorable mention, all of the tarot decks have books that are really meaty and good to chew on. So that is the Liber Mundi? No, that's the book. This is the Tarot Mundi. Oh God, I've already forgotten. Tabula Mundi. There we go. There we go. This is the Tabula Mundi Palm Perfect size. The next deck that I want to talk about is another one that y'all already know that I have. I absolutely adore the bag that I've made for it, and that's probably a good 35% of the reason why I'm so obsessed with it. But this is the Wildwood Tarot. This is a tarot deck that once I started chewing on a little bit more, I thought, there's no way this is going to be for me. And then I used it, and it's incredible. You have to meet it where it is. This deck has keywords on all of the well, not on all of the cards, but on many of the cards, on all of the on the pips it has keywords. And then the, all of the major arcana are changed, or almost all of them are changed in some way, shape, or form, and then the courts are animals. So it is a really weird deck to use. It's quite unintuitive. It's almost an oracle deck rather than a tarot deck because it goes its own way so hard. Some of the card meanings are very Rider-Waite-Smith, but other ones are like, where did you get this? And you read the guidebook and you're like, okay, if I squint, tilt my head, and turn on the smoke machine, I can kind of see where you're coming from. But something about... No, I know exactly what it is. The images in this deck and the changes that it has made to literally all parts of the tarot really put me in this world. And when I use this deck, I feel like I am truly, for the first time, connecting to a fantasy world. This deck does not have Fae energy necessarily, but it does have Green Man energy. And I will be explaining a little bit more of what I mean with that in my monthly video. But I have adored using this deck to sort of escape reality. And I'm going to use that as a launch point for my next deck, which is actually an oracle. And it's one I've been pairing with the Wildwood Tarot, and that is the Woodland Wardens. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this deck because everyone and their mother adores it. Come on. My box came with one of the thumb holes not cut out, so I really struggle to open it sometimes. But this deck is a very popular one. I don't know how that happened. That's a bummer. Huh. I'm sure that happened when I left it on the floor and my cats ran over it. That's almost certainly when that transpired. But it is a beautiful deck by Jessica Rue, and I thoroughly enjoy the artwork. I find the keywords and concepts to be a little bit difficult to work with, but the guidebook is fabulous. So I have been, once you read the guidebook entry, the keywords and the associations are richer, and it's easier to delve into them more intuitively. So I need to really sit down with this deck and the guidebook and go through it card by card in order and read it as a study. And I've been using this deck with two of my tarot decks that I've gotten recently, and it's a really good oracle. Everybody knows it's a good oracle. I don't need to spend a lot of time talking about it. I have edged mine in this gorgeous bronzy gold color that I love so much. So many of my decks are and will be edged in this color, so I'm not sorry about it. It's just a perfect marker choice. It is a Tombow marker. I'm just saying things to bide time as I fight with this box here to try to get this deck closed. Holy shit. Cool. All right, the other tarot deck that I use with that oracle is also by Jessica Rue, and this is the bag that I've made for it, and that is the Good Fortune Tarot. I told myself I didn't need this deck. I told myself I didn't want this deck. Jessica Rue's art style, much like with the Woodland Wardens, I fought it for so long because Jessica Rue's art style is very storybook, which isn't really my thing. And I say that. I love the Paulina Cassidy Tarot Phantasma. So, Phantasm, I think. Whatever it is. I love that Paulina Cassidy, Paulina Faye Tarot deck. So, that one's really storybook. So maybe I sound like I'm speaking shit. But, I didn't want this deck, but I wanted the guidebook for this deck. I wanted the ability to read a Barbara Moore guidebook where she really... Lisa Pepez did a deep dive into this deck on her channel before, and her channel members are currently doing a study of this deck. I do not pay for her membership. I don't pay for any memberships. I pay for YouTube Premium instead. But they're doing a deep dive on her membership into this deck, and I kind of wish that I were a part of it, because this deck rules. The guidebook is incredible. It's not... I would say this is an excellent second deck. Get you a Rider-Waite Smith and then a very digestible, like not a Rachel Pollack, but maybe like Radical Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess. Get you a digestible tarot book and start there with a Rider-Waite Smith, and then this makes an excellent second deck when you're really familiar with the traditional cards, but you want to start to get a little bit more historical, you want to start to get a little bit more esoteric, you want to start to tie in Thoth without really committing to a Thoth study, you want to start to tie in all of these other associations, and you don't want to, like, you want someone to hold your hand through it and give you just the bare bones minimum of what you need. This guidebook does that. And I have really enjoyed working with this deck. It's been a really emotionally tough month for me for a lot of reasons, some of which I've gotten into here on the channel. But this deck has been the thing that I've been reaching for more than anything else because it feels like a hug. And I love that about it. It feels like an assurance that nothing's going to get bad enough that you can't fix it. It feels like an assurance that no matter what you are capable in any situation, it's not over till you're dead. That's very much so the energy of the Good Fortune Tarot, and I enjoy the way it incorporates some Marseille. It's helping me to get, like, I'm dipping my toes into a deeper Marseille study. I'll talk about that a little bit more in my August wrap-up video. And yeah, it's a good one. Those are all of the main decks. Then I have two honorable mentions that I want to include here. The first one is the Archeo Personal Archetype Cards Oracle deck from Nick Bantock. This deck is not my normal deck. I love a good archetypes deck, so maybe I sound like a liar here, but it's only 40 cards, which is a hard no for me. Technically, it's 42 because it comes with 2 blank cards that you are encouraged to collage on and make your own form of art on. I would never do that because they would stick out like a sore thumb from the rest of the deck. I would never collage on cards along with a printed deck. However, I may use some Sharpie and color on them, so that's going to be a possibility there. Oh shit, okay. The box is stunning, absolutely beautiful, very sturdy. I am keeping the cards in the box rather than making them a bag, which I wouldn't normally do with one that's a little bit bigger than the cards, but it's a really sturdy box, and I like it a lot, and these cards are... I want to keep them with the book, so I want to keep them in the box rather than trying to make them a bag. So you get a blank card. My other blank card is mixed into the deck. There it is. And then the artwork is really what made me get this deck. I just fucking love it so goddamn much. This is the type of art that I hope to one day be able to create. And I'm going to have to rely on the work of other artists to do so because I do not have the depth of skill necessary to construct the figures and sketches that are here. However, I could definitely collage like this someday, and so this deck really spoke to me, and it's an archetype deck. Like I said, I love archetype decks. It's a weird one, and some of the archetypes you absolutely have to use the book for because he kind of makes up names for them himself. However, I would not use this as an oracle deck, like for future telling. I would use this, and this is how I do use this. I use it for once a month for a monthly pull that sits on altar. That's it. That's how I use this deck. And when I say that, that is to say I've used it once for the month of August. And so that's why it's an honorable mention. What I have, like, I've obviously like pulled cards and read the guidebook and just enjoyed it. But as far as an in-depth practice for the month of August, I'll go into like what card I pulled and how I've been working with it. I'll give, like, in my August video, I'm going to read the guidebook for the card for August. So if you want a taste of the guidebook, go ahead and subscribe. Keep an eye out for that video. That one's definitely an honorable mention. The next honorable mention is also a deck that has come into my collection, too recently for me to have used it more than once or twice. And so I cannot speak too much to my tie to it. However, right off the bat, I feel very drawn to it, and that is the Aqua Marie Collage Tarot deck. I bought this from a Riffle and Times shop as soon as she posted that it was on there. I got a notification on the shop app that she had updated her shop, and I was like, oh my god, the Aqua Marie! I had been eyeballing it vaguely for so long, and it's glossy, which is kind of difficult to film, but that's okay. It's everything I've ever wanted in a collage deck. It's small enough I can riffle shuffle it, although I will say it does not riffle shuffle well. It's very stiff laminated cardstock, so it's a bit difficult to riffle shuffle. It's not as bad as the Modern Witch Tarot deck, but it's very similar. I've thought about edging it in neon orange, but I don't know if I want to modify this deck at all. I've also thought about trimming it so that there are no borders. I'm still trying to decide on that. I'm not normally precious with my decks. Like, I've literally edged an out-of-print deck because I just couldn't with the bare fucking edges anymore. But something about this makes me scared to modify it. So I'm still contemplating whether or not I'm going to start that journey with this deck. But this one, the 1 or 2 readings, I think it's been 2. I've done 2 readings with this deck that did not get recorded in my journal. One was a deck interview, and then the other one was like just a what do you have to say to me kind of reading. And it's another deck that just kind of looked straight into my soul right away. I don't know if that energy is going to be kept up, so it can only be an honorable mention, but I fucking love it, and I'm very excited to work with it some more. Let me know what you think about modifying it, whether I should or not. Are you team, do not fucking modify that independent deck, or are you team, cut it down, trim off the edges, or trim off the borders, edge the hell out of it? Like, let me know. Because I kind of want to mutilate the fuck out of this deck, but I also kind of want to preserve it exactly as it is so that it continues to fit in the box. I have not made a bag for it yet because I haven't decided if I'm going to modify it. So that's it. Those are the decks that have been really resonating with me lately. I will talk more about them and other things that have been going on this month of August. I know I haven't put out a lot of content this month. It's just, if you've watched any of my previous content, you shouldn't be surprised. This has been a tumultuous time for me. I've had a lot of life changes, so it's not surprising that I haven't wanted to like get on here and talk and like perform. So I've given myself grace with taking, what has it been, like 2 weeks? 2 weeks off of YouTube. It's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And I bet most of y'all didn't even notice I was gone. So, I want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers. I finally broke 300 for subscribers, which is really cool. Some people may think that that's not a lot, but I think 50 people looking at my videos is pretty impressive. Never mind 300. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much for commenting on my videos. To the people who have, please go ahead and do that some more. I love comments. I actually need to sit down and catch up on the comments that were left while I was in the depression hole. And thank you so much for being here today. I'm just about out of time on my 10-minute timer over here anyways, so let me tell you all to have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe, watch more of my content, eat fruits and vegetables, wash your hands regularly, and brush your teeth at least twice a day for good dental hygiene. Mwah! I love you. Bye.